Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here today. My name is Karrie. Here on my channel I do a lot of DIYs, decorating, and some lifestyle content as well. But today's video is going to be a DIY closet system on a budget. And in order to do that, I went to Lowe's and I picked up one of these bookcases. I did end up using two of them, but I already had one on hand that I got from Target for $35. And either one will work just fine. They're pretty much the exact same thing. One's just a little bit more expensive than the other. Other than that, I feel like they're pretty identical in like quality and durability. So I'm going to work on putting this bookcase together that I picked up from Lowe's, and then we're going to get started. You guys, I'm not a fan of putting together furniture. It's not my strong suit. But someone has to do it. So we need A and B. Eating some candy makes it a little bit more enjoyable. What is that? Seriously? The kid's toy. No, that's not yours. Where's your toys? Alright, so once I got the bookcase all put together, I am just going to show you one more overview of how the closet looked before. You can see it just had a bunch of just random stuff piled up in the back. A lot of that stuff is keepsake things, but I did end up decluttering a lot of it over on my cleaning channel. If you'd like to check that out, I will have it listed down below in the description box. But first thing with any project, I try to like clear the space out depending on what I'm working on. Sometimes it's easier than others, but for this particular space, it's so tiny and narrow, so I definitely needed to make sure I got everything out and, you know, cleaned up so that way I had a fresh, clean start to work with. At the beginning of the video, when I shared the overview, you could see that I already had kind of like this closet system idea whenever this closet was for my daughter. It actually worked out really great having the bookcase in here with the two rods for clothing, and it has held up wonderfully over the past year. So I knew that if I just added an extra bookcase, that it would just make it a little bit larger and a lot more functional for us, you know, as adults, since we do have a little bit more clothing and just bigger stuff. So here I am just sliding that bookcase down all the way to the other end of the closet. And then I'm going to add the new bookcase that I just bought at the front of the closet. And so then I'll do the two rods in between. Alright, so I wanted to share with you where I'm at so far. So it's working out great. I do need to go get a different board for the top though, because the board that I ordered is way too wide, and it's like that particle board type of wood, so it's very sturdy and strong. I just know that if I try to cut a straight line, it's never gonna work. I don't have the proper saw for that. So I'm just gonna return it, get one that will fit the space. I'm gonna be reinforcing these bookcases. It's just a lot cheaper than trying to buy all this individual wood and build the bookshelves myself. That is why I went with this option. It's just a closet. It's not gonna get like, I mean, it'll get like daily use, but The stuff on the shelves probably will not get daily use, so I'm not too concerned. And these bookcases are very, like, good quality. Like, this one I've had for over a year, and it has held, so it's held up great. It's a little dirty. I need to wipe it down, but other than that, it's very sturdy, and I'm very impressed with the quality of these really inexpensive bookcases. So, yeah, you kind of see what I'm kind of going for here, but I definitely want to have this shelf for the top going across. That way it'll make it look like one whole built-in. And then I'll do a shelf going this way above here so I can have additional storage. At least that's my plan at the moment. So just wanted to share with you guys where I was at and kind of give you an update. And this board right here is going to help hold these in place. You have a game for us to play? Yep. Okay. Alright, so I went to Lowe's and I quickly exchanged that board that's going to go across the top as the big shelf. And this one was actually a lot cheaper. It ended up only being $15 versus the $23 that I spent originally. And this is the one that I meant to get, by the way. I thought that this is the one I ordered, but I just wasn't paying attention to measurements. So always double check before you submit your orders. But I'm adding this to the top, and adding this and nailing it to the top of each bookcase is also going to help kind of reinforce the bookcases so that way they stand nice and tall and sturdy. Along with the board along the back, which you'll see in just a moment here, I attached that to the wall, hitting multiple studs, and also took my bookcase and kind of put in a few nails going at an angle into those boards just to also help reinforce it. Alright, so I had a quick little design dilemma right here. So y'all see how you can see the light coming through the top shelf on the back side in between the two bookcases? I wanted to cover that. So I had a 1x4 out in my shed, and it actually fit perfectly right there. But before I actually started nailing it up, I took the entire shelf down first and nailed that 1x4 to the back side of the shelf. That way when I put it up on the wall, it was all attached to each other. And then I also added a few nails going from the top into the bookcases. One of my favorite tools that I have purchased is this 18 gauge Craftsman nail gun. You guys, this thing is absolutely amazing. For anybody who does like any types of projects, I feel like it is just a staple to have. They are a little on the pricey side, so it is an investment, but I promise you it's totally worth it, especially if you do any type of woodworking or like fixing furniture, things like that. It's really great to have, and I love that it's battery operated, so I don't have to fight with any cords or anything like that. It's really nice. I'll have this linked below. But I'm now going to add this little 1x4 MDF board right to the front just to kind of trim it out and make it look finished. However, I didn't have quite enough. I planned on taking that board along the side too. I didn't have it, so I ended up just painting the edge so that way it looked all white, but I will add a small piece of trim right there on this side as soon as I can get some more. I wanted to share with you guys that one of my biggest tips if you are going to be doing like a project like this is to go that extra mile, even if it is an extra $10, buy little pieces of trim and make sure to get some caulk to fill all the seams. This takes your project from looking like a DIYer's project to more of a professional grade look, and it just looks complete, and it really does make a world of a difference. So just adding that trim right there, it just immediately made it look so much nicer. And then as soon as I get all these boards up, I'm going to go back in with some caulk and fill all those seams, and you'll see how much better it even looks whenever I do that. Perfect. Check it out. Okay, good deal. Okay. Yes, I'm wearing my son's goggles because I don't have any glasses right this moment. Let's see. We're going to start with this one, I guess. I know. That. Oh, I just messed up. I forgot I was going to lower this. I guess it's fine. I don't know. Is it fine? Let's see. All right, so that bottom rod definitely had to be dropped down a little bit. So I just took those little rod holders and attached it using the screws that it came with because they were the perfect size. They were only about a ½ an inch long, and it worked perfectly for those bookcases. And once I added both of those, it worked out great. And now I'm going to go ahead and caulk all those seams I was telling you guys about. Now, this is one of those projects that can be a little messy if you're not used to doing it. So my biggest tip for you is to keep a wet hand towel on hand or baby wipes to wipe up any of the extra caulk that comes out or gets on the wall or on your fingers. Just have something to wipe your hand off with. It really is super easy to do. You just got to practice. After letting that caulk dry for a few hours, I went in with some paint that I had on hand. I always have paint on hand. I probably have like 50 gallons of paint out in my shed that have like a little bit of paint at the bottom that I have to use up. So I just grabbed a basic white and a satin finish, and I'm gonna do any touch-up painting that I need to do. Once I finished up all the painting, I went in with the Dollar Tree spackling and an old gift card, and I'm just adding this to the holes on the bookcase just to help disguise them a little bit. Later on in the video, I will show you up close that you can still see the holes, and I left them for a reason, and I'll explain later. But I'm going to go through and fill all these in just to kind of help disguise them a little bit. All right, the closet system is done. The only thing I have in there right now are my boots, but I'm about to start putting all the clothes in there. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like before I put everything in there. I love it. It worked out perfect. I still got plenty of walking space here. I would like to do like a mirror or something just to kind of help disguise that breaker box. I did paint the trim. It was white. I painted it the same wall color. That way it just kind of blended in a little bit better. And yeah, it looks really good. And it was $150 to make this. So that's not bad at all, considering it's a pretty large closet system and they're pretty expensive. I do want to kind of like caulk all of the seams and stuff, and I'll get to that eventually. I'm just out of it right now. And I'm probably gonna need another like 2 tubes or something. So I'll definitely do that, and it'll make it nice and seamless, but I really love it.
You know I want you close, maybe hold your hand a little while. Somehow I know you're gonna be the girl that I'll end up calling my own. We ride around in style, sleeves rolled up, glasses on, and then you make that smile and my heart starts racing when I'm with you. With you, can't get enough of this. Being with you is like never-ending sunshine. Feels like everything stops for a while when we look into each other's eyes. How could I ever let you go now?
It was at this moment that I realized that my new bins did not fit on the top of my closet. I was so bummed. I was like, no way.
clothes on, and I'm wearing my worn out jeans. What could go wrong? Sipping on a beer, sing along to our favorite songs. All I want is you. You make my world spin round and round. Sometimes I don't know what to do, 'cause my heart starts racing.
Alright, so after going through the clothes really quick and just getting rid of anything that I knew I wasn't going to wear, I wanted to share with you the before and afters, of course. So here's a quick before of how the closet looked. Here's how it looked right before I added all of my stuff in here, so you can kind of get an idea of what the closet system looks like. And this is what it looks like with everything in here all organized. I am so happy with it. Alright, so I got everything organized in the closet and I am in love with it. I just like it so much. I feel like so fancy. Like having like the shoe holder, I don't know. It just looks fancy to me, but I love it. The bins that I purchased from Walmart ended up not fitting that great, so I had to turn them sideways. The reason for that is because up top there in the back there's a piece of wood that's going to help like reinforce this so it's nice and sturdy. So unfortunately these wouldn't slide all the way back like I thought that they would, but it's fine. I mean, honestly, it's just for storage. It doesn't have to look perfect. As long as it functions, I'm happy with it. So those all have, I have like some important paperwork, bathing suits, painting clothes. And then down there in that far bin, I believe, what is in there? I think just like older shoes that I need to declutter along with all of this stuff on this side. But I just kind of have Dylan's shoes and stuff. All of our clothes I went through, and that, which by the way, these are winter and summer clothes, and they're Dylan's and mine, like kind of mixed together. I need to sort through them, but alright, before I let y'all go, a few things I wanted to point out and share with you. So first off, all the hangers here are just regular plastic ones. All of these are from the Dollar Tree. And I would love to switch them out, but I'm just going to do it over time because they're so expensive, and with the amount of clothes I still have, I feel like it's going to cost like over $100 just for hangers, and that just seems a little outrageous right this minute. So we'll see. I'm going to keep shopping around, see if I can find a better deal somewhere. But yeah, so I'd like to do that. Also, I did splurge a little bit more on this particular curtain rod because it's the like vinyl wrapped, so that way it won't scratch and the hangers slide really easily on it. I love that. And this was like an extra $5 more, so if you get just the plain wooden one and stain it or paint it, it will save you a little bit more money. So that's just another way to cut back on the cost of a project like this. Also, see these little holes right here? I filled them with spackling. I didn't want to like disguise them completely, but I did want to kind of hide them a little bit so it wasn't like an eyesore having little black dots everywhere. I did it with a spackle, that way if I ever do want to move the shelves down, I can just take a screw and get that out of there, and I can still use, you know, and change my shelving however I want. So that's another thing. There was something else. Oh, also, when you are doing this project, make sure that your boards that are reinforcing the bookcases are into studs. Okay, just make sure it's nice and sturdy. You don't want to just put it into drywall and hope for the best. That is not safe, so make sure you're hitting studs. That way it's nice and sturdy and the whole thing will not move at all. Alright, so that is going to be it for this closet makeover. I really hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please take a moment and give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend or family member who might be interested. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I appreciate all of you so very much. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, y'all.